Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Rennie. I'm a mixed media artist, and in today's video I am sharing my process of working through a mixed media piece. My subject matter is an Oriental poppy. Oh, they're so gorgeous. They're here for such a short period of time. I guess that's what makes them so special. And also my exploration with the R&F drawing oils. These are amazing to work with, and I'm continuing to learn so much more how you can apply them, layer them, scrape into them. So without further ado, let's dive in and move through this mixed media piece. Thank you so much for watching. So I'm just doing a quick initial sketch. I'm using the Inktense ink pencils. They're going to disappear anyway. And then moving on to the acrylic paints. I'm out in my gazebo right now doing the voiceover part of the video, and it's quite windy today, so you may hear quite a bit of wind, maybe some birds. Not bad sounds, I guess. So just working through the layers here. I would like to take this opportunity to thank Sandy Hester for the inspiration to create these wet palettes of paint. It's just my container on the right there is, it's a silicone, I guess it's a mold for something. I don't know what. I got it at the thrift store and filled it with paint. It has a cover, and then I've got that inside of a Tupperware, so it keeps the paints from drying out. And it's just such a quick and easy go-to without having to deal with the tubes and squeezing out the tubes and all the rest of that. So it's much more easy and accessible in terms of, oh, I just want to go in and do a quick something, and then all of the colors are there. So that's really cool. So thank you, Sandy, for that idea. So just going through layers, trying to stay loose here. Sometimes it's a bit of a challenge for me. I'm trying to stay looser with my work to make it more impressionistic, expressionistic, I guess. And also knowing that I'm going to be covering a lot of this with collage papers. But I guess you really get a feel for, or I get a feel for where I want the piece to go ultimately when I'm playing around with all of these layers. The paper that I'm using, I think it's a Canson paper, and I've put 2 layers of gesso on it. I had learned that when you're working with the drawing oils can seep through, although I do have, layer of acrylic and layer of papers on top, but okay, here I'm moving on to the gel prints, which I'm using for my collage, and you can see my reference image there on the top left. And any reason just to sit and go through gel prints is just so satisfying. I don't know what it is. If there are any other gel printers out there, I just love just going through them. So made a selection of ones I thought I could use. And choosing to go in a little bit with darker values, trying to think ahead. That the drawing oils are coming next, and that I know that I can scrape into the drawing oils to reveal the surfaces beneath, so the colors beneath. So trying to sort of think forward to the best of my ability anyway. And so a lot of these collage papers will also end up getting covered by the drawing oils, but as I go along, I can sort of pick and choose what I want to have peeking through, and that's kind of fun. That's kind of fun, and because some people wonder, well, why, your painting was nice. Why would you go through the trouble of adding collage papers and then drawing oils over the top? Well, the easiest answer is because it's fun. It's fun just to do these different things and have it be more expressionistic. And just the fun exploration part of it. Here you can see I've switched to wearing gloves. It's much easier. I find that when you're in bare hands doing collage work, I don't like the feeling of the glue sticking to my fingers, and then I can't feel what I'm touching, and then it accumulates. So here's the piece once all of the collage material is down, so that has to dry completely. And then coming in now with the R&F drawing oils. I don't know if you can see, but I'm wearing silicone fingertips. They're flesh colored, so they're a little bit harder to see, but I learned that unfortunately, some of the materials to create the pigments are a little bit toxic, so not so good for the skin. So I want to try and avoid coming into direct contact with that. And just love the blendability of these. So I've also explored blending using cold wax, and I know that R&F also makes blending mediums, but because it's been quite warm in the outdoor space, I've found that the drawing oils are quite soft, so I haven't had really to use any blending medium. I really want to try and avoid using paintbrushes or any kind of solvents, just keeping it as simple and clean as possible. So continuous learning about how they blend, layer. And I know that I can, put a layer of them and let it dry and then continue if I wanted to, but I haven't felt the need or whatever to wait to do that. I was happy with the way the white was blending, was covering some of the darker colors beneath. Here, just speeding up the video a little bit. Playing with the different colors and blending. and then coming in with the silicone tool to scrape away or blend more. Here I'm switched to a palette knife. You can get some really nice marks into the oils using the, and I just love texture and depth, and it almost feels like a combination of painting and sculpting when you can do this sort of thing, and I find that very satisfying. I'm trying to decide which areas I want to remove enough of the oils to reveal the collage papers beneath. And they're kind of things that you wouldn't notice unless you had a closer look at the piece. So they're kind of like little Easter eggs for art lovers. So once I was satisfied with adding the drawing oils, I let it dry completely. So here's the finished piece. And then I applied a layer of the Dorland's cold wax and let that dry. It doesn't have to dry for long, just about an hour. Here I'm just doing a few close-ups, and then there's a few photographs of the areas where you can see the collage papers beneath, which is kind of fun. It's like here, you can see a little bit of that gold splash. It's collage paper. So just little bits. So here I'm just buffing the piece, buffing the cold wax, and you can see a nice satiny finish. So anyway, that was my process using the R&F drawing oils. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I welcome any comments or things that you may have explored using this medium. See you next time.